Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into today's video, and what I'm going to be demonstrating is how I set up a Kubernetes cluster using high availability architecture, embedded etcd. I used k3s or lightweight Kubernetes, which is developed by Rancher Labs. I used 6 Raspberry Pis, and I deployed a Minecraft server. So let's get into it. So after connecting power and Ethernet to all of our Raspberry Pis, we're going to take the SD cards now, insert them into our laptop, and using the Raspberry Imager, we're going to flash Raspberry Pi OS Lite 32-bit on all of our nodes. After successful OS installation and a reboot, we can SSH into our devices again, and what we're going to do is use the Raspberry configuration tool, and we're just going to change the default passwords for each of the devices. And we're also going to change the host names, the physical host names of these devices. Once again, we're going to reboot and we're going to SSH back into our devices. Here is my second server, and I'm just going to change directories, go back twice, and go into my boot directory here. And in here, we're going to mess with 2 files. The first one is going to be the command line.txt file. So just use any text editor. I use Nano. And you're gonna see one long string. You're gonna go to the end of that string and paste these attributes. The attributes we added to the end of this string are enabling control groups. We're also putting device network information like its IP, its gateway, its subnet, the device's host name, which we changed earlier in the video, and also the interface, which we're gonna use Ethernet 0 here just to keep it basic. Finally, we're going to go into the config.txt file, and at the bottom of it, we're just going to add this one line, which is ARM64. We're just going to enable this architecture so that k3s can function properly on top of these Raspberry Pis. And we're also going to enable IP tables before giving it a nice reboot. Now, all this configuration is just preparation for the k3s software. K3s is really easy to install. It's actually done with curl commands that you can find easily on the Rancher website. In order to achieve HA architecture with K3s, we're going to have to install it on our Raspberry Pis in a specific order. So first, we're going to start with our main server. We're going to use the standard curl command and get K3s installed. Then we're going to access the token file, copy that, and we're going to use that token file plus the IP address to install and add the 2 remaining servers to the cluster. And they'll all have etcd, they'll all be control planes, and our cluster will just consist of 3 servers that are sharing a data store and they're working cohesively. So now that we successfully installed our first 3 servers into our cluster, we have our control plane set up. Now this control plane needs some agent or worker nodes to instruct to deploy applications. So to install our worker nodes, it's even simpler. We're just going to use the standard curl command. So after we've successfully installed k3s on all 6 of our Raspberry Pis, we can go into the command line interface of any server, do kubectl get nodes, and it's going to return a list of our nodes, their roles, and their status. We can also do kubectl get pods, and as you can see right here, I get returned Minecraft. That is my application that is currently running. So here's a quick overview of the dashboard, and as you can see, I can look at all my nodes that are within, and it shows their roles, the version. It gives me some information about the CPU and memory usage, how many pods it has created, and the age of the node. So if I go into my agent 2 here, you can see one of the pods it's currently running is the Minecraft pod, and this is my Minecraft server application. Aside from the application, we're also going to have to deploy a service. This service is going to be a node port forwarding service. Essentially what it is a virtual port that we're going to assign to our cluster, and that way devices or users that are outside of our Kubernetes cluster, they can still access applications that are within through this virtualized port. So my port is going to be 31115, and you'll see we'll use this later on. So now we're going to open the Minecraft Java Edition application. We're going to click Add Server, and suitingly I'm going to name this Raspberry. And then after that, we're going to add any IP address that we use within our cluster. So I'm just using agent 2s here, and then we're going to add that virtualized port number that I was talking about at the end. And as you can see, our server is online. We can join our server, and we're here. Minecraft on top of Raspberry Pis. It's very real. I am very good at this game, clearly. Okay. Finally, just to demonstrate the true beauty of HA architecture, as you can see here, my main server is down, it is off, not functioning. But besides that, the remaining nodes inside my cluster are running, and more importantly, if we go to agent 2, it's still active, and the Minecraft server application is still running. So in a standard setup, our main server being down probably would have been a single point of failure and everything would be down. But because of HA architecture, the remaining servers in our cluster were able to reconfigure itself and keep the application up and running. So we went over high availability, we used K3s, and we used Raspberry Pis to deploy a Minecraft server. This project was a lot of fun to do, and I hope you found this video useful. If you do have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to respond and answer. So thank you for tuning in to this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.